I'm John Fenn from the American Folklife Center here at the Library of Congress, and today we have our guest Mokoomba from Zimbabwe, who just played a lovely show, so thank you for that. Would you like to introduce everyone in the band, please?
Okay. My name is Abundance Mutori, and I play the bass in the band. Next to me here is Trustworth Samende, plays the guitar. Next to him is Mathias Muzaza, who is our lead vocalist. Next to him is Ndaba Moyo, plays the drums. Next to him is Miti Mugande, who plays the percussion. And last but not least, Partisan, who plays the keyboards.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So, this band, can you tell me about the name?
Okay, the name of our band is called Mokoomba, and we are honoring the Zambezi River, which is so important to our culture. So Mokoomba means the vibrant life, and as a source of life that we get from the Zambezi River.
Okay. And how long has the band existed?
So, well, we come from the same neighborhood in Victoria Falls.
All of you?
All of us.
Okay.
And we grew up in the same neighborhood called Chinotimba Township. So we more or less went to the same schools, and we knew each other when we were still young and just playing with our old friend who passed away. He was called Alfred Mjimba.
Oh.
He was an old musician from our local neighborhood in Chinotimba Township who played local concerts, and he had musical equipment. Because when we started, we couldn't afford to buy our own instruments and have our own gear. Mm-hmm. So he would let us come and play with him and just have a feel of how to play music, his own style, and just jam with the guys. And after we finished high school, we really thought we could make up a band because we were coming from the same neighborhood and everybody was talented in his own way of playing music and traditional styles. And we really formed our band in 2007, where we really started playing more professional. And we went into some competitions. There was a youth empowerment program that was called Music Crossroads, which was a youth empowerment program for 15 to 25 years old young teenagers who would want to take part on the program. And it was really helpful for us. We were seeing that they had some workshops that we could embark on and some prizes that were there that were very cool. We could win a tour or win some instruments and some money, stuff like that. And we thought that was a good opportunity for us to take up that competition, which was happening in 5 Southern African countries. Okay. In our own country, in Zimbabwe, in Zambia, Malawi, Mozambique, and Tanzania. So they were going in and scouting for these young bands. And we took that chance, and we were the first band in our own region to represent our local region against the 9 provinces that we have in Zimbabwe. Okay. And then we went to the national level. That was the second competition we did. And against the other provinces, we took the first prize there.
And was that in Harare? In
Harare, yeah, okay. Yes. Hence to represent the whole of Zimbabwe against the other 4 Southern African countries. And we also managed to take the first prize in the regional competition, which was held in Malawi in 2008. So that was like a stepping stone for us when we just won that competition, because it was, the prize was a 1-month tour in Europe and to record like a small EP and album. And that's where we first had our first record that we recorded, which was called Drifting Ahead. In our language, it's called Kweseka.
Kweseka. Yeah,
so it was a 6-track album. And that was successful, and we started touring in Europe, and then we started having more connections with some presenters, some promoters, some agencies who were really keen to work with us. And up until we made our second record in 2011, Rising Tide, that had a huge impact on our international tours, because it had lots of reviews from all around the world, in Europe, here in the United States, with Afropop, with the Fruits, with Songlines, magazines, all pushing and supporting that album. So that was like our second biggest stone that we climbed up the ladder. And then we've been going since then, and now we have our new record called Luyando, which we just released in 2014, and it was really great album, in 2016 I mean, and it was really a great album till now, and the world has been receiving us in a great way. So in short, that's how we really managed to be on the international level.
And now, when you're composing music, even from when you first started, you're drawing on many traditions of Zimbabwean music that not a lot of people outside of Zimbabwe hear.
That's true.
Is that accurate? So how did you bring that mix together, based on growing up, but also what were you bringing into your music?
Okay, so coming from Victoria Falls, as I said, it's a melting pot of different styles again, and we are not only speaking in the best languages of Zimbabwe. The majority language spoken in Zimbabwe, which is Shona and Ndaba, because most of the bands that have came from Zimbabwe, like our heroes like Oliver Mtukudzi, Stella Chiweshe, Chioniso Maraire, Thomas Mapfumo, the Bondo Boys, and they all came from the Shona tribe mainly. Yeah. So us coming from the Tonga, Luvale, and Nyanja, and from the part of the region where we come from with this different style of singing, playing of percussion, how we dance, we thought it was a cool idea for us as young people to fuse all these elements that we have that we think are cool and new to what also Zimbabwe has seen and also all around the world. And that's how we came up to have our own Afrofusion style, which we have today, which we're mixing our traditional sounds and Pan-African sounds also that we grew up listening to in that region of Victoria Falls, where we have also some rhythms from South Africa, Zambia, near Malawi. So it's a kind of like a melting pot of different Pan-African sounds too that we are incorporating in our music, and some world classified sounds like funk, rock, soukous, bit of ska. As young people, we thought it would be cool for us because these are some of the styles that we like, and our own tradition, we have it, although, but we are also open to other genres of music that we grew up listening to.
Yeah, I heard so much in your music that again didn't sound like the stuff that often is associated with Zimbabwe, which again is mostly the Shona, the Chimurenga music. I was hearing different rhythms.
Yes, yes. So we are fusing all these rhythms, all the Zimbabwean cultures, the sounds, and specifically the sounds also from our traditionals, the Tonga, Luvale, and Nyanja.
And do you all contribute to the songs?
Yes.
In different ways, or is there a main songwriter?
Well, when we are creating our music, maybe I can just pass this to Trust for the creation of the music. It's a great movement. Yeah.
So, since we've been working together for a long time, so we're more like a family now, and it helps us when we're composing. That when I come up with a song, we have a bass, which is we start with the percussion and make sure that we have a sync in that, and then when we get that, and then the bass comes in. So the bass comes in, he knows that okay, when the percussion is playing here, so this is my space. So each person knows that, okay, this is my space. So if the bass is here, this is my space and all that. That's how we create the music. And then writing the songs now, so we feel the song. Sometimes we start with the instrument first, the instrumental, and then we feel the mood of the instrument that, okay, what kind of a message that can we put on this groove? Yeah, and then we all think along those lines to come up with something that will match up with what we're playing. Because when the beat, we want to write something that is being is coming from the beat, the inspiration that we're getting from the beat. Yeah, so we write along those lines. Or when we come up with the words before the beat, it's the same thing again. We all get in the mood of that song and the feeling. We try to get the feeling that he's feeling when he's coming up with this song, or when he came up with this song, because he explains that, okay, guys, I was thinking like this and this, and I have this, and inspired by this and that. Yeah, so we all try to get in that to come up to be able to play something that is going to match what he's writing, what he's singing. Yeah, so that's how we create our music. Yeah.
Now, Mathias, your voice has such a wide range and many different styles. Is that something you developed in the context of the band, or are you pulling on traditional singing styles that you may have heard growing up?
Yeah. As was for our culture, we are from Victoria Falls together. And then also we have our something like to go to the bush. We go to the bush, and then we have our fathers, the grandfathers. They taught us how to sing.
Okay.
how to play some congas, something like this. So also to me, this is my stylish. Yes, because you are all together with the band. Then sometimes I can come with my ID to say I need to do something like this or sing like this. But myself, yeah, I have my own style to arrange how to make my voice higher, lows, and yeah, something like that.
And it seems like within the larger collaborative effort, you'll give each other input too.
Yeah, because to add on what he's saying, it's really a great thing to be incorporating these African styles, like the show that we just did today. This is the most stripped down show where we are really enlightening those traditional styles, how we're playing the percussion, our traditional grooves, and how Mathias is singing, which is really important, and also the rhythms which Trust is taking. They're all coming from the traditional way of playing percussion, because all these rhythms that we're taking, we are borrowing them mostly from how we play our traditional percussion, the rhythms that we play there. We can also play those same rhythms on the bass, on the guitar, and that complements what they are playing, and it becomes more in a traditional groove, and that's how we really come up with this style.
And as we heard today at the show, you all sing.
Yeah.
And you did several a cappella pieces. Can you explain maybe about those pieces? Were those songs the group composed, or were they partly traditional songs that you shaped?
Yes, so in our music we have some traditional songs that we sing from our cultures, Tonga, Luvale, and Nyanja. And we also have songs that we write, like Trust said, where we have different inspirations, like songs that talk about HIV and AIDS, talked about cancer, songs that talk about love, how we live together, how we sometimes miss home when we are traveling, all those songs. So the a cappella pieces that we just did, one of them is from the Tonga culture.
Okay.
And it talks about the incident that happened in 1955, where our ancestors were moved from the Zambezi River, where they used to live and have a good life and have their rituals there by the water, which was the source of life, which is our name as Mokoomba, to honor that. So it talks about that incident, but it also talks about how the people managed to reconnect with their lost families when that incident happened, because there was a hydroelectric power station that was supposed to be built at that time. So that's why our families were moved there to the parts of Victoria Falls and being where we live today. So that's one of the a cappella pieces. The next a cappella piece was a love song, which talks about how in our cultures we marry, how we used to do it long time ago when you have a girlfriend and you cannot go and see them directly at their homestead. You need to first follow some rules and,
Before
like I said,
before the
paying
cell
the
phone,
bride.
Before cell phone.
Before the cell phones.
So you know that, okay, she goes to fetch water around this time.
Yes.
So you go and sit around there and just wait for her.
She's going to come, and then after you meet and stuff like that. So that was the song that talks about that. Nyaradzo.
Okay.
Yes.
So, just to add, it was interesting during that time because, so when you manage to get the girl, so you have to have a chord, a whistling chord, so when she hears that, then she knows, oh, okay, he's around. So
You're there.
Yeah.
That's the signal.
Yeah, but the unfortunate part was that, so as time goes, the brothers can, every time when we hear that whistling, she goes out. So maybe she's seeing someone. So sometimes you might not be lucky. You find the brothers will be waiting. You go and say, okay.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the story of the love song, the a cappella song. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that you're touring so much and you're missing home. Do you get to perform back at home at all?
Yes.
Yes, the little time that we have nowadays, when we get home and we are free from touring, even in Victoria Falls, even in Harare, where we are based most of the time.
Okay.
We go back to Victoria Falls and see our families. And we definitely do one concert or two concerts because they will be like, okay, you have to play us a concert because we miss you very
They'll
much
be
at
expecting
home.
you, huh?
They'll be expecting it. So we do play at home in Victoria Falls, and we do a lot of also other concerts in the capital city in Harare where we
Okay.
are staying.
Okay.
We do regular shows when we are back home, so that our local fan base is also happy. Because they'll be always like, we are seeing you on Facebook and YouTube, but now you're back home, so we need at least one concert and we can have a party. And also the response back home is really growing up rapidly, and we have more fans coming and more fans liking us as well.
Are the fans from Zimbabwe, do you feel that they recognize the traditional elements of your music within the fusion?
Yeah, slowly. I mean, I would say we're winning people one by one. One by one. We have someone coming to tell us, oh wow, next time that person comes with the other person that he or she knows that, oh, I think this style, that friend of mine would really appreciate this.
Okay.
So yeah, we're slowly building up, yeah. I mean, looking at the time when we started and where we are now, we've a really huge following in Harare. Yeah, we have a lot of people coming to support the band. It's been a journey. It wasn't easy at the beginning, playing for people that do not even understand the language.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask about that.
Yes.
You sing in so many languages.
But now people are accepting our music, and luckily, for years, we had only 3 official languages, which is Shona, Ndaba, and English only. But now the government recognizes all the languages that are spoken in Zimbabwe. So now we have about 13? I don't know, somewhere there. 13, I think. Yeah, languages.
And also now Tonga, Lobale, Nyanja are also included in our schools.
I was going to ask if they're taught in the schools, because that determines so
yeah.
much how people can access the music.
Yeah, which is a
in
good
addition to the
thing.
culture.
Which is a good thing, because now the school children, also our little children, can also learn our cultures, and we can preserve our languages and our cultures that way. And to add on what Trust was just saying, the recognition in Zimbabwe is now really growing. Even the National Arts Council is now recognizing us, because we just won an Arts Personality Award 2 days ago when we were here, and they awarded us with the Arts Best Personality.
It's a very high-level national award.
Arts Personality of the Year. So we just
Congratulations
won
on that. That's fantastic.
Thank you. So it shows that they are really supporting us, and they see what the best work that we're doing for our country.
And did someone send you a message on a cell phone or WhatsApp or something saying, "Hey, you won"?
So we were playing a concert.
know.
We were on stage, and then after the performance, after we finished playing, and then we were checking what's happening on Facebook, and then we're getting congratulations messages. Like,
Where is this coming from?
messages for what? Yeah, and then we received a message that, oh guys, you won an award. Yeah, it was a surprise.
So I think that helps frame the first 10 years of the band. You built up to this.
Yes.
I want to ask you where you see yourself pushing the band. Are there directions you want to go with different?
Yeah, we still haven't really finished exploring, our kind of fusion. And as we've been touring around, we've been meeting different good musicians, and we're working on a new album right now.
Okay.
And we've been thinking to take a whole different direction, where we have a collaborative album with the best friends that we've been meeting along the 10 years that we've been playing the music all around the world, and to share our music. So, I mean, we are still going, and I think there's a bright future for the band, as we are still young like this, and we still got a long way to go. And we're excited to go to new markets, to new places, and to go back to places that we've played before, because we know people love us very much, and that gives us the energy.
And it seems like the collaborative spirit of the band can bring other influences in too.
True.
Now, in terms of you said today's show was stripped down, and so we had bass, guitar, vocals, and then different percussion, different forms of percussion. How does that compare with the other version of the band that you tour? I mean, do you have keyboards in the other set? Yeah, and a full drum kit, right? And so when you're playing the stripped down version today, in relationship to the full band version, do you feel a different sense of your engagement with the musical traditions you're coming from? And does it seem like you're the same band, or do you feel different about it?
We feel like we are the same band because we just have taken a step back, and we are now showing the people really where we are taking these raw materials, how we are, where the fusion part, where is it coming to the band. So we're just taking it a step back and showing the people really what our tradition and culture is like with the stripped down show, because we don't have much of the fusion, but we have the elements that are the most important elements in our music, which we would love the people to see. And that's why we also had this album, Luyando, and also this idea to have this more acoustic show so people can have, I think, more understanding on the elements that we have, which are so special, the way our Mathias is singing, the rhythms that we are borrowing from the guitars, and the percussion is what Trust is doing, and the rhythms that we're playing from the percussion, which is so important. So this is the value of that show. And it's fun to play that show more than the fusion, because the fusion also is great, but it's more powerful. The fusion is for like big also festivals and
big stadium audiences,
which is more powerful. This is powerful too, but more intimate, and people can engage with the band's emotion and the flow of the music.
And I mean, personally, playing the acoustic show, it's always a challenge for me, because when we have the full band, I have him, the keyboards covering up for me, covering the spaces and all that. So without that, I have to cover all the
have to
spaces.
do more work.
Do more work, you know? Yeah, because it's just me and Abundance they're holding the percussion, but no rhythm section, so it's always more challenging, you know? But I love the challenge, you know, and I really enjoy it, you know? Yeah, I really love it.
Now, I had a question about the languages, because we've touched on it a few times. So sounds like you probably sing in 3 different languages, or do you mostly stick to?
No, the 3 languages, these are the most languages that we speak and we are focusing on, but we also have Ndebele and
so
Shona and a bit of English too. So we are mixing probably all of the languages that we have in Zimbabwe at this point.
So when you're writing a song, how do you decide which language to draw on? Or what are the factors that go into deciding that? Or even mixing languages too, because I think that speaks to the...
we do mix languages in some of the songs, maybe Luvale and Shona, Ndebele and Nyanja.
Okay.
You know, it's crisscross.
I mean, we just open up, you know, that whatever idea that comes, if you're hearing something and it's coming in Tonga, just put it there.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole idea. We're pushing our cultures out there. Yeah. So all 6 of us, I'll say 5, because me and Mathias were Lubale.
Okay.
He's Shona, Lozi, Tonga, and Ndebele.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So that helps us as well when we're writing. We try to encourage each other that, okay, just think along your culture.
Okay.
Yeah, since we're mixed. Yeah. So since he's Ndebele, he's coming in also with his Ndebele feel and ideas along those lines. And then we take it and twist it to fit in what we're trying to come up with.
Okay.
You know, yeah. So, but if he's feeling something that, oh, guys, I haven't developed a chorus, which I think will fit here. We always apply everything. We put everything. Like one of the new songs that we're doing now, the song is in Tonga, we're singing in Tonga, but the chorus is in Shona.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the new songs are just coming. Yeah, so there are no rules. We just allow ourselves to...
Yeah, because the difference is the one that makes it more interesting, because we are all different, and the way how we hear the music is different, coming from different backgrounds, but we have the same connection of the music. That difference is the one that makes us to create things that are exciting, I think, amongst ourselves.
Now, at the start of the interview, when you were telling me the history of the band, you mentioned a musician who was a mentor for you and who gave you access to instruments. And do you find yourselves being in that position at all now that when you go back home, are youth looking to you in any way? And do you have an opportunity to teach or work with youth around musical training?
Yeah. So we have, I would say Mokoomba Juniors, because the lead singer is Mathias niece,
Okay.
nephew.
Okay.
Nephew.
Yeah, nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah. The brother, because he's the drummer, and his
Okay.
brother as well is the drummer in that band.
Okay.
As well. Yeah. So we're helping them, we're grooming them as well. They're really good. Sometimes when they're playing, we just go like, okay, guys.
Are you worried?
Not worried.
You know, yeah. You know, so with these youngsters, they're learning from you, yeah, and trying to reach that level. At the same time, they're adding their ideas, you know. So it's, for us, we really love to see that we are inspiring other upcoming musicians and all that. From Vic Falls, there's another group which is called Flying Bantu. They're going to start touring this summer. And they're boys that grew up, you know, in our neighborhood.
Okay.
They would come and say, "Oh man, can you help me here? Can you show me how to do this?" You know, these guys, they can play anything that we play. You know, yeah. So for us, it's something that we are happy that we're doing something for the community as well. We're inspiring. We're making them believe that, okay, so we can go somewhere with music. Yeah, you know. So yeah, I would say we are where we are slowly becoming mentors of our brothers in
Young
our
brothers and sisters.
community.
Which is a way of continuing the tradition
Exactly.
too. That you,
Yes.
Yes, and we're still looking forward to be opening some form of place where we can also establish musical performances and musical rehearsals for the upcoming musicians from our area. And I hope in the next coming years there will be something more concrete that we can show for the music and arts in Victoria Falls, for the youngsters, and the cultural place where we can just have a place where musicians can meet and be able to practice, be able to play and showcase their cultures.
So I can't wait for the day where I'll be sitting at home watching this program, watching you interviewing.
And you'll see them.
Yeah, you know, we're interviewing.
You think I'll still be here?
Paseka. If God,
I look
really.
forward to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, we mentioned that as you've moved around the world, you've met a bunch of different musicians and always inspired by something. Are there forms of music or even different musicians that you've met that you haven't had a chance to collaborate with or integrate into your stuff yet, but you're looking for that opportunity, like to continue the fusion?
Yes, we are looking forward to be continuing the fusion, because when we've been touring, we have met really good musicians, good bands, and some of them who are interested to do something with us, to make a collaboration. And so, like I was saying, in this album, we are looking forward to be doing a lot of other collaborations and seeing how that would go with the fusion style.
Are there particular styles of music that you would love to work with that you haven't had a chance yet?
I would say some funk,
Yeah.
some more rock, you know. What did you say?
Yeah.
You know.
So, talking about the album and answering that question, so we've been recording. So we've recorded all the ideas, you know, that we have. Yeah. So we always move around with the files.
Oh, okay.
Like, when we meet the musicians, oh man, can you please add that? You know, in music it's so funny that there's just one thing that can be added and just changes the whole direction of the song. You know. Yeah. So, and as we've been traveling, we've shared the stage with Richard Bonner, Salif Keita, Yusondo, you know, yeah, I mean, it is our wish and prayer, you know, that we can have them be part of our next project, you know, yeah. So, yeah, we're just hoping that it's going to happen, you know.
And it's going
We
to
just
happen
keep our
because,
fingers crossed, you know. Just,
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But I think also continuing the with that sort of collaborative group effort that you've developed, it seems like it's inviting so many different influences. I mean, I heard a lot of West African sounding stuff just in what you played today. You know, that again, I wasn't necessarily expecting, but it was integrated in this way that was kind of connected in.
Yeah, because when we met some of the other bands that we meet after even backstage, or the people that love to collaborate with us, like maybe, like for instance, like the horn players, they would say, when you guys were playing that song, I would feel like my gaps where I can just come in and play something. So it would be something like what you're saying, that collaborative effort that we make. That person who wants to collaborate with us can already feel what he or she can play, how he or she can come into the music, which is a great thing, I think.
And you know what we do? When you say that, oh, you know, I was feeling something, say, okay, man, here's the recording. Just put the thing that you were feeling. Just put it in there, you know. And then we have it. You know, we record, we're taking everything. We're taking everything, all the input, you know. Yeah.
Now, when you all were growing up, you were listening to local musicians, but also probably the radio and cassettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were hearing music from all over the place, huh?
Yeah, there was a lot of different styles also happening from our region. As I said earlier on, from the radio you could listen to stuff from, you know, our own Pan-African sounds, a lot of it, our own Zimbabwean styles, and also, you know, what our parents would listen to, like some American styles, you know, that they loved, some on vinyl, some on tape, and that's where we could listen to some funk. Like my dad was a bass player, a gospel bass player, at a later stage. So he kind of like loved one of these bass players called Abraham Laborio, and he's a funky bass player. So I used to see him watch that, and I was really fascinated about how he played the bass as a bass player. And that also drove my kind of intuition into wanting to play more funk. So those are how the things, how we enabled ourselves to get all these styles and to listen to different styles while we were at home, listen to the radio, listen to our own Zimbabwean styles, Pan-African sounds. And so we had all that kind of style, all those styles, we had them and we listened to them. So what we are just putting into our music is what we love also, and playing our rhythms from the traditional percussions and traditional styles of singing that we're borrowing, and playing some other different styles that we like in music.
That seems to be working.
Yes, it is. It is working.
Has to work.
Because we enjoy it ourselves, first of all, before playing it to the audience. When we do a rehearsal, when we are playing together, creating a song, we make sure that the song, we are happy about the song, first of all, and we think we've put all the effort that we can put, and the song drives us as well, because we cannot play a song that we don't feel good about, that we are not happy to play it. So we put all the ideas that makes the song first happy in our own way of understanding, and then we know when we perform it with a great energy amongst ourselves, it can also be translated to the people who are listening to the music.
That's well said.
Thank you.
One of the fun things about these interviews is it's a chance for people to hear about the band in your own words. So is there anything that we haven't talked about, or that you think people should know about Mokoomba? About the band and about how you work? Is there anything you want to leave us with?
That we are a, energetic young band, young men who are, eager to give all our energy that we have into music. And because we love what we do, we love to showcase our cultures and to present Zimbabwe in another way, in a positive way, of how we have different cultures of music and language that are so, in a happy mood that people can connect to, and people can loosen up and forget about their problems for some time, and have some hope in life. I would say that.
I think everyone's in agreement.
You've said it all.
You've done it abundance. Well, I want to thank you for the concert and for your time and for sharing with us.
Thank you.
So best of luck on things.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.